Good morning. Oh, come on. It's actually a great morning, but good morning is the standard greeting. Good morning. Wow, that was great. I'm Seiichi Matsuda. I serve as the Dean of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies at Rice University. On behalf of the university, I welcome you to the 2023 doctoral commencement. We are honored to welcome graduates, their families and friends, including both the 2023 doctoral graduates and those who took the degree earlier but could not participate then because of the circumstances of the past few years. The program distributed today includes this year's doctoral graduates, including those who participated in the December commencement exercises to encompass the entire class of 2023. The names and thesis titles of those who took the degree earlier are not in today's program, since they appeared in the commencement program from the year in which the degree was taken. Regardless of when you earned your degree, we are honored to celebrate your scholarship and your achievements here today. It is my privilege to introduce the distinguished guests on the stage. On the far end and to my right, Fred Oswald, Professor of Psychology, Head Marshal, and Mace Bearer. Then on my left, from left to right, Reginald DesRoches, President of Rice University. Amy Dittmar, Provost of Rice University. I will be seated in the empty chair. Louai Nakle, Dean of the George R. Brown School of Engineering. Kathleen Canning, Dean of the School of Humanities. Thomas Killian, Dean of the Weiss School of Natural Sciences. Matthew Loden, Dean of the Shepherd School of Music. Peter Rodriguez, Dean of the Jones Graduate School of Business. Rachel Kimbrough, Dean of the School of Social Sciences. Robert Bruce, Dean of the Suzanne M. Glasscock School of Continuing Studies. And then on the other side of the stage, we have Bridget Gorman, Dean of Undergraduates. Karen Levander, Vice President for Global and Interim Provost for Digital Strategies. Fred Higgs, Vice Provost of Academic Affairs. Alexandra Kiefer, Speaker of the Faculty Senate. Matthew Taylor, Associate Provost. Adria Baker, Associate Vice Provost for International Education. And Dheeraj Jain, who's the President of the Graduate Student Association. And we recognize and we honor the faculty who have mentored these candidates to the doctoral degree and who are seated with them on the floor. It is now my privilege to introduce you to the 8th President of Rice University, President Reginald DesRoches.
Thank you, Seiichi, and I think you can be seated up on the stage. Welcome to Rice University's 110th commencement. As Seiichi said, I'm Reginald DesRoches, President of Rice University. Graduates, during your time at Rice, our faculty and our staff have dedicated themselves to nurturing that potential in each of you. I want to take this moment to thank them for the ongoing support and encouragement. Your accomplishments are also due in part to the dedication, to the loving support and encouragement, and to the extraordinary support of your family members and friends who have championed each of you. Many of them are here today. To thank them for their support, I would like all of our graduating students to rise, if you're able, and acknowledge what others have done for you. Thank you. Completing a doctoral degree is one of the most challenging and rewarding accomplishments that a person can achieve. You have worked hours on end in the lab and in the field, and you've read tons of papers, reports, essays, and books. I recall the anguish I had during my PhD when I couldn't find an error in one line of code. I spent 3 weeks trying to find it. The sheer joy and sense of accomplishment once I was finally able to get my code to work was unforgettable. There's nothing like that sense of accomplishment when you make an important discovery that gets you one step closer to finishing your doctorate. As you will experience in a few minutes, there's also nothing like receiving that hood, knowing that all the hard work has paid off. Completing a PhD or doctoral of musical arts takes discipline, initiative, focus, grit, and indeed patience. The skills that you have gained in pursuit of your doctorate go well beyond the specialized knowledge that you have. Doctorate degrees push you to sharpen your technical and scholarly knowledge while also forcing you to enhance your communication and creative thinking skills. These skills will make you a more successful leader and a more productive member of society. While this may be the last degree you obtain, perhaps it won't, I hope you will continue your pursuit of knowledge. I encourage you to keep learning and acquiring new skills, wisdom, and perspectives that make you a well-rounded person. I challenge you to continue to push yourself, try new things, get outside of your comfort zone, do things that are exceptionally hard and perhaps uncomfortable. This is when you will grow emotionally and intellectually. You have been at Rice for 4, 5, or perhaps even more years, completing a doctorate degree. I hope that in that time you have come to appreciate what makes Rice a very special place. And I hope you've established friendships that will last you a lifetime. You are now forever part of the Rice family, which includes more than 60,000 living alumni around the world. And like you, they share immense pride in Rice and the accomplishments of all its graduates, you now included. As you encounter life's adventures, even with a Rice degree in hand, you will be faced with highs and lows and unexpected twists of fate. So whatever path life takes you on, remember the values that we hold near and dear to us at Rice and that I spoke about in my inauguration just a few months ago. Be curious, never stop learning. Be courageous, stand up for what you believe, and always be respectful of others, and use your doctoral degrees from Rice to make the world a better place for all. In closing, all of us at Rice are thrilled to be part of your celebration. We applaud your persistence, your incredible talent, your achievements, your focus, and your aspirations. We send our best wishes as you embark upon what lies ahead, and we hope it will bring you back to campus many times. We look forward to welcoming you when you return, and once again we say congratulations.
Thank you, President DeRoche. I will now present our doctoral candidates. The degree of Doctor of Philosophy is awarded to scholars who have successfully completed a rigorous course of study and research and who have made original contributions to human knowledge, culminating in a publicly defended thesis or dissertation. The degree of Doctor of Musical Arts is awarded to scholars who have successfully completed performances or original compositions and a rigorous course of study and research culminating in a publicly defended dissertation. Will the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Musical Arts please rise as you are able? Mr. President, these candidates and others whose names will appear on the registrar's official list have fulfilled all of the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy or Doctor of Musical Arts and have been recommended by the faculty to the Board of Trustees for these degrees.
Candidates for the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Musical Arts, you have committed yourselves to the high calling of scholarship and research, and you have made important contributions to new frontiers of knowledge. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority invested in me by the Board of Trustees of Rice University, I confer upon those candidates whose names will appear on the registrar's official list the degree of Doctor of Philosophy or Doctor of Musical Arts, and I admit to you all the rights, responsibilities, and privileges appropriate to those degrees. Everyone, please rise and give a big round of applause to our new doctoral scholars.
Congratulations. Please be seated, and we will now begin awarding the doctoral regalia to the scholars assembled here. From the George R. Brown School of Engineering, Department of Bioengineering, Dr. Matthew Lyndon Bedell, development of novel bioinks for studying multi-material architecture within osteochondral tissue engineering, mentored by Professor Antonios Mikos. Dr. Andrei Botanou, engineering hyaluronic acid hydrogels to enable ex vivo 3D culture of patient-derived xenografts and associated stroma in a perfusible microfluidic platform, mentored by Professor Daniel Harrington. Dr. David Brenes, integration of multimodal, multi-scale image and biomarker data for squamous precancer detection and diagnosis, mentored by Professor Rebecca Richards-Cordum and hooded by Dr. Jenny Carnes. Dr. Megan Ming Chang, genotyping strategies and point-of-care isothermal nucleic acid tests for improved disease management in low-resource settings, mentored by Professor Rebecca Richards-Cordum and hooded by Dr. Megan Bond. Dr. Joshua Chin Lun Chen, magnetoelectric materials for wireless battery-free bioelectronics, mentored by Professor Jacob Robinson. Dr. Lauren Lu Xuan Cheng, sequencing and molecular technique-powered profiling of DNA markers in biomedical applications, mentored by Professor Omid Vaisa. Dr. Letitia Kai-Ling Chim, tissue-engineered microenvironments to model mechanical cues and tumor-associated macrophages on osteosarcoma, mentored by Professor Antonios Mikos. Dr. Jackson Kuhl, integrating multimodal optical imaging systems for interactive clinician guidance for cancer detection and resection, mentored by Professor Rebecca Richards-Cordum and hooded by Professor Omid Vaisa. Dr. Kevin Jansen, applications of 3D printed vascularized tissue constructs for studies of human physiology and disease, mentored by Professor Omid Vaisa. Dr. Boran Kim, immunomodulatory biomaterials to enable long-term delivery of cell-based therapeutics, mentored by Professor Omid Vaisa. Dr. James Lehman, the role of actin-binding proteins in shaping the dynamics and structures of actinomycin networks, mentored by Professor Margaret S. Chung, hooded by Professor Peter Wollinus. Dr. Amanda Nash. Development of implantable cytokine factories for controlled modulation of the immune response, mentored by Professor Omid Vaisa. Dr. Adam Navarra, design and characterization of a thermogelling ink and support bath system for extrusion bioprinting, mentored by Professor Antonios Mikos. Dr. Sai Paul, developing low-cost paper-based assays to reduce overtreatment at the point of care, mentored by Professor Rebecca Richards-Kortum and hooded by Professor Lisa Biswal. Dr. Trenton Piepergerdes, implementation of genetic circuits for engineered mesenchymal stem cell chondrogenic differentiation, mentored by Professor Caleb Basher. Dr. Christian Schreib, a cell-based therapeutics biomaterial patch for accelerated wound healing, mentored by Professor Omid Vaisa. Dr. Mohammed Shamim, building a 3D genome atlas of human tissues down to base pair resolutions, mentored by Dr. Aviva Aiden, hooded by Dr. Jane Grande Allen. And Erez Alden. Dr. Alyssa Shapiro, developing a low-cost spectrophotometric system to detect and monitor newborn conditions at the point of care in low-resource settings, mentored by Rebecca Richards-Kortum, hooded by Dr. Megan Bond. Dr. Alan Trubelha, directing collective epitheliomorphology using a light-based carving tool, mentored by Professor Daniel Harrington. From the Department of Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering, Dr. Chutian Bai, fundamental insights of foam transport in porous media applied to enhanced oil recovery, mentored by Professor Lisa Biswal and Professor George Hirasaki. Dr. Chris Conrad, oxygenation catalysis to enable sustainable chemical production and wastewater treatment, mentored by Professor Michael Wong. Dr. Seong Hwang Lee, synthetic metabolic pathways for efficient utilization of one-carbon compounds, mentored by Professor Ramon Gonzalez and hooded by Professor Lisa Biswal. Dr. Quan Nguyen, rational design of silicon-based anodes for high-performance lithium-ion batteries, mentored by Professor Lisa Biswal. Dr. Nijeka Norum, functionalized polymeric coatings for enhanced selective removal of ions in electric field-driven processes, mentored by Professor Rafael Verduzco. Dr. Bo Tao Song, investigating and addressing the degradation mechanisms in silicon-based anodes for lithium-ion batteries, mentored by Professor Lisa Biswal. Dr. Arjun Valiya Parambathu, visiting fundamentals of NMR relaxation in bulk and confined fluids, mentored by Walter Chapman and George Hirasaki. Dr. Peng Wang, understanding and designing heterogeneous catalysts with computational modeling and machine learning, mentored by Professor Thomas Senfel and hooded by Professor Michael Wong. Dr. Xingling Wang, NMR core analysis for unconventional formations, mentored by Professor George Hirasaki. Dr. Yang Xia, a combined strategy of catalyst design and reactor development for efficient electroreduction of O2 to H2O2, mentored by Professor Haotian Wang. Dr. Chi-Chen Yuan, therapeutic genome and cellular engineering with advanced programmable molecular tools, mentored by Professor Xue Sherry Gao. From the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering, Dr. Miles Asbernejad, seismic design and performance assessment of bridges with SMA-restrained rocking columns, mentored by President Reginald DeRoche. Dr. Matthew Garcia, novel urban floodplain modeling methods for applications in coupling surrogate machine learning methods, mentored by Professor Philip Bedient and hooded by Professor Jamie Paget. Dr. Suhindra Herkal, dynamic modeling and response modification effects of negative stiffness elements, metamaterials, origami, and brace, mentored by Professor Satish Nagarajaya. Dr. Xiaochuan Huang, interaction of scaling species with polymeric materials, mentored by Professor Qilin Li. Dr. Wei Meng, next generation 2D optical strain mapping, strain sensing smart skin versus digital image correlation, mentored by Professor Satish Nagarajaya and Professor Bruce Wiseman. Dr. Pranavesh Panakal, situational awareness frameworks for real-time sensing of flood impacts on road transportation networks, mentored by Professor Jamie Paget. Eric? From the Department of Computational Applied Mathematics and Operations Research, Dr. Eric McSwain Antley, a machine learning approach for quadratic and linear programming value functions, mentored by Professor Andrew Schaefer. Dr. Bochuan Liu, bi-click partitions, bi-click covers, and disjunctive constraints, mentored by Professor Ilya Hicks. From the Department of Computer Science, Dr. Advait Balaji, Journey into the Unknown, graph and machine learning-based approaches for improved characterization of novel pathogens, mentored by Professor Todd Triangan. Dr. Zhen Cao, towards more accurate phylogenetic network inference, mentored by Professor and Dean Luai Nakle. Dr. Konstantinos Chamzas, retrieval-based learning for efficient high depth of field motion planning, mentored by Professor Lydia Kavraki. Dr. Arkabandhu Chowdhury, meta approaches to few-shot image classification, mentored by Professor Christopher Germain. Dr. Sarah Hall Swan, molecular docking and structural analysis for applications in biomedicine, mentored by Professor Lydia Kavraki. Dr. Kuo Feng Su, programming the network management stack for cloud data centers, mentored by Professor Ang Chen. Dr. Kwei Heng Lai, toward data-centric automated machine learning, mentored by Professor Xiao Hu. Dr. Xiaoheng Liang, interpretable and efficient machine learning in cancer biology, mentored by Professor Ken Chen and Professor Luai Nakle. Dr. Rohan Mukherjee, role of context in program search and synthesis, mentored by Professor Chris Germain, hooded by Professor Christopher Germain. Dr. Dao Chen Zha, efficient methods for deep reinforcement learning, algorithms, and applications, mentored by Professor Xiao Hu. From the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering, Dr. Benjamin Coleman, kernel sum sketches for large-scale learning, mentored by Professor Anshumali Srivastava. Dr. Vinicius da Silva Goncalves, triggered uplink MIMO and access adaptation for 802.11 WLANs, mentored by Professor Edward Knightley. Dr. Kirti Dasala, design and experimental evaluation of next-generation multi-user WLANs from millimeter waves to terahertz, mentored by Professor Edward Knightley. Dr. Saqib Hassan, real-time in vitro and in vivo biosensing using photonic microring resonators, mentored by Professor Jacob Robinson. Dr. Daniel Lejeune, ridge regularization by randomization in linear ensembles, mentored by Professor Richard Baranuk. Dr. Zhuohe Liu, multimodal high-content optimization of neural activity biosensors, mentored by Professor Francois St. Pierre. Dr. Akash Mehti, camera-based tissue hemodynamics imaging, mentored by Ashutosh Sabrohal. Dr. Benaz Osterval, plasma-mediated carrier dynamics in metal nanoparticles and hybrid nanostructures, mentored by Professor Stefan Link. Dr. Amruta Pai, a computational analysis of meal events using food diaries and continuous glucose monitors, mentored by Professor Ashutosh Sabharwal. Dr. Nathaniel Raimondi, design and evaluation of massive MIMO systems for enabling radar cellular spectral coexistence, mentored by Professor Ashutosh Sabharwal. Dr. Mitchell Roddenberry, sampling and limit theories for graph signal processing and large simplical complexes, mentored by Professor Santiago Segarra. Dr. Zichao Wang, towards personalized human learning at scale, a machine learning approach, mentored by Professor Richard Baranook. Dr. Yang Zhao, marrying application-level opportunities with algorithm hardware co-design towards ubiquitous edge intelligence, mentored by Professor Yinghang Lin. From the Department of Material Science and Nanoengineering, Dr. Aparna Adam Bumkalath, design and fabrication of functional materials in biomedical application, mentored by Professor Pulakul Ajayan. Dr. Chi-Yi Fang, synthesis, characterization, and application of 2D covalent organic frameworks, mentored by Professor Jun Lu. Dr. Lenora Grant, sintering mechanics of 3D printed ceramic aggregates treated with a reactive binder, mentored by Professor Zachary Cordero and Professor Fred Higgs III. Dr. Harikishnan Kannan, facile synthesis routes for application-oriented modification of nanomaterials, mentored by Professor Pulakul Ajayan. Dr. Christine Nguyen, synthesis, processing, and electrochemical performance of two-dimensional materials for sensing applications, hooded by Professor Jun Lo. Dr. Siraj Siddiq, halide perovskites for high efficiency and durable photovoltaics, mentored by Professor Aditya Mohit. Dr. Jianan Shu, cobalt-free cathode materials for lithium-ion batteries, synthesis, processing, characterization, and evaluation of the electrochemical performances, mentored by Professor Pulakul Ajayan. Dr. Boyu Zhang, additive manufacturing and mechanical properties of 2D HBN and reinforced nanocomposite, mentored by Professor Jun Lu. From the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Dr. Ashesh Chattopadhyay, theoretical and applied deep learning for turbulence, mentored by Professor Pedram Hassanazeh. Dr. Nia Christian, a tribological investigation into the wear and lifetime prediction of metal on plastic artificial hip implants, mentored by Professor C. Fred Higgs III. Dr. Nathan Dunkelberger, functional electrical stimulation and exoskeleton hybrid control, using model predictive control to distribute control effort among systems with unequal time delays, mentored by Professor Marsha O'Malley. Dr. Nick Jean-Louis, system scale analysis of parabolic trough concentrated solar power plant with hybrid thermal storage, mentored by Professor Laura Schaefer. Dr. Joshua Wagner, a fully resolved multi-phase flow solver for interfacial fluid particle interaction problems and its application to binder jet 3D printing, mentored by Professor C. Fred Higgs III. Dr. Zane Zook, evaluating human perception with salient and low-cost wearable haptics, mentored by Professor Marcia O'Malley. From the Department of Statistics, evaluating, Dr. Alejandro Aguilar, topological data analysis and theoretical statistical inference for time series dependent data and error in parametric choices, mentored by Professor Catherine Enser. Dr. Zhen-Wei Dai, memory-efficient computation for large-scale machine learning and data inference, mentored by Professor Anshumali Srivastava. Dr. Joseph Feldman, recent advances in Bayesian coupler models for mixed data and quantile regression, mentored by Professor Daniel Kowal. Dr. Brian King, molecular docking and structural analysis for applications in biomedicine, mentored by Professor Daniel Kowal. Dr. Elizabeth Kong, statistical approaches to identifying therapeutic vulnerabilities from cancer genomics data, mentored by Professor Anil Korkut. Dr. Mingrui Liang, Bayesian models for mHealth data in smoking cessation studies, mentored by Professor Marina Vanucci. Dr. Chun Shan Yu, Bayesian graphical models for multivariate time series, mentored by Professor Daniel Kowal and Professor Marina Vanucci. Dr. Zijian Zheng, Advanced Bayesian Models for Dependent Data, mentored by Professor Meng Li, hooded by Professor Meng Li and Professor Marina Vanucci. From the School of Humanities, from the Department of English, Dr. Annie Culver, A Feminist Ecology of the Suburbs, mentored by Professor Krista Comer and hooded by Professor Jose Aranda. Dr. Solveig Sigurdardottir, Hidden in Plain Sight, Nordic Colonialism in American Literature from Reconstruction to the Immigration Act of 1924, mentored by Professor Nicole Wallagora Davis and Professor Jose Aranda. Dr. Sam Stoltje of Ghosts and Justice, Spectral Politics in 20th Century Literature, mentored by Professor Jose Aranda. From the Department of History, Dr. John Crum, Headwaters of Empire, Landscapes of Power and Refuge in the Tennessee Valley, 1794 to 1870, mentored by Professor Randall Hall. From the Department of Religion, Dr. Cindy Dawson, Woman Zion Out of Hand, a new materialist study of Zion's movement within and between biblical and extra-biblical texts, mentored by Professor Matthias Henze. Dr. Bradley Johnson, Christian Churches and the Cape Town Water Crisis, mentored by Professor Elias Bongba. Dr. Namlila Jones, The Zero-Point Paradigm, Radical Hermeneutics of Non-Duality in the work of Adi Das Samraj, mentored by Professor Jeffrey Kreipel, hooded by Professor Jeffrey Kreipel and Professor April DeConnick. Dr. Abdul Basit Qasim, Old Reformers, New Dissidents, Continuity and Change in the Intellectual History of Islamic Thought, Reform and Jihad in Nigeria from the late 18th to early 21st centuries, mentored by Professor David Cook, hooded by Professor Elias Bongba. From the School of Social Sciences, Department of Anthropology, Dr. Magnus Sigurdsson, Climate Politics and Its Magic Mirrors, Service Power, Political Imagination, and the United Nations Climate Convention, mentored by Dominic Boyer and hooded by Professor Nia Georges. From the Department of Economics, Hira Faruqi, Essays on Women's Labor Supply, Financial Well-Being, and the Marriage Market Outcomes, mentored by Professor Flavio Cunha and Professor Rosella Calvi, hooded by Professor Flavio Cunha. Dr. Xinjie Zhang, Essays on Industrial Organization, mentored by Professor Shun Tang. Dr. Amir Kazempur Ismati, Essays on Two-Sided Matching Games, mentored by Professor Shun Tang. Dr. Christoph Kutasi, Essays on Matching Markets, mentored by Professor Shun Tang and Professor Yinhua He. Dr. Omer Farouk Sozbir, Essays in Family Economics, mentored by Professor Rosella Calvi, hooded by Professor Shun Tang. Dr. Rabia Telly, Essays in the Economics of Education, mentored by Professor Flavio Cunha. Dr. Xiaoyu Yu, Essays on Discrete Choice Demand Estimation and Spatial Analysis, mentored by Professor Shun Tang. From the Department of Political Science, Dr. Nicholas Coulomb, Promises of Future Cooperation and Alliance Credibility, mentored by Professor Ashley Leeds. Dr. Allegra Hernandez, The Role of Effective Attachments in American Politics, mentored by Professor Randolph Stevenson, hooded by Professor Randolph Stevenson and Professor Rick Wilson. Dr. Colin Jones, The Social Context of Voting and Its Influences on Voting Beliefs and Behavior, mentored by Professor Robert Stein, hooded by Professor Randolph Stevenson. Dr. Alex Pugh, Designed to Favor the Effects of Appointing Ad Hoc Judges in International Courts, mentored by Professor Ashley Leeds. Dr. Enrique Quezada Llanes, The Effects of Religious Language and Commitments on Americans' Political Behavior, mentored by Professor Randolph Stevenson. Dr. Iganyim Valikhanova, Under Pressure, Target Government's Domestic and Foreign Policy Responses to Economic Sanctions, mentored by Professor Cliff Morgan. Dr. Marquez Zarate, How Citizens Form Perceptions of Political Pandering, mentored by Professor Matthew Hayes. From the Department of Psychological Sciences, Dr. Michelle Chen, Adverse Childhood Experiences and Individual Differences Among Dementia Spousal Caregivers, a Biobehavioral Approach to Stress Across the Lifespan, mentored by Professor Christopher Fagundes. Autumn Horn? Dr. Evan Mulfinger, Using the Jobs Demand Resource Model to Predict Retention-Related Outcomes in Animal Welfare Volunteers, mentored by Professor Frederick Oswald. From the Department of Sociology, Dr. Julian Culver, When and Why Racial Attitudes Change, Presidential Elections, Politicians, and Racial Exemplars, mentored by Professor Tony Brown. Dr. Sharan Mehta, From South Asia to the Southern U.S., Exploring South Asian Identities, Lived Experiences, and Collective Action in Texas, mentored by Professor Jennifer Bradher, hooded by Professor Anna Rhodes. Dr. Esmeralda Sanchez Salazar, Latinos, Faith, and Education, Examining Religion's Role in Shaping Latino College and STEM Outcomes, mentored by Elaine Howard Eklund, Professor Elaine Howard Eklund and Professor Ruth Lopez Turley. From the Shepherd School of Music, Kami Gavi Helm, When Persian Traditional Music Meets Western Violin Tradition, mentored by Professor Peter Lowen. Dr. Christoph Wagner, Injuries in Professional Orchestra Musicians, an Overview of Current Data and Trends, mentored by Professor Kurt Stallman, hooded by Professor Norman Fisher. From the Weiss School of Natural Sciences, Department of Biochemistry and Cell Biology, Dr. Andrea Amoruoso, Developing CRISPR Tools for Activating Silent Biosynthetic Gene Clusters in Streptomyces Species, mentored by Professor James Chappell. Dr. Jordan Bluford, Analyzing the Effects of Random Mutations on Ferredoxin-Mediated Electron Transfer Using a Cellular Assay, mentored by Professor Joff Silberg. Dr. Alex Ditzel, Utilizing a Cell-Free Protein Synthesis System and Engineered Methyltransferases for Natural Product Synthesis, mentored by Professor George Phillips. Dr. Mario Escobar, Design and benchmarking of CRISPR-Cas tools for transcriptional regulation in human cells, mentored by Professor Isaac Hilton. Dr. Adam Howard, posterior Hox transcription factors drive multiple phases of neural crest development, mentored by Professor Rosa Uribe. Dr. Shikai Jin, Modeling Protein Structural Ensembles using AWSEM Suite, mentored by Professor Peter Wolinas. Dr. Xiaotong Lu, structural and biochemical characterization of the influenza D virus matrix protein reveals its mechanisms for membrane and V-RNP association, mentored by Professor Yiji Jane Tao. Dr. Yu Yang, expression and assembly of human picoBRNA virus using a plasmid-based expression system, mentored by Professor Yiji Jane Tao. Dr. Catherine Smith, investigation of pexophagy and autophagy occurrence in Arabidopsis, mentored by Professor Bonnie Bartel. Dr. Xinhao Song, developing microdroplet emulsions as a system for the study of microbial social interactions, mentored by Professor Yusuf Shamu. Dr. Adeline Supandi, experimental evolution as a tool in investigating antibiotic resistance and antimicrobial discovery, mentored by Professor Yusuf Shamu. Dr. Joe Tolar, expanding the understanding of extracellular electron transfer mechanisms and the physiological in gram-positive bacteria, mentored by Dr. Carolyn Aho Franklin. Dr. Melissa Traver, ubiquitination in and around the peroxisome, mentored by Professor Bonnie Bartel. And that was Dr. Melissa Traver, my apologies. Dr. Maria Claudia Villegas Cam, development of transacting RNA-guided tools to control gene expressions in bacteria, mentored by Professor James Chappell. From the Department of Chemistry, Dr. Alizadeh Ramojad, covalent and non-covalent functionalization of single-stranded DNA-wrapped single-wall carbon nanotubes, computational and experimental studies, mentored by Professor Bruce Wiseman. Dr. Wei-Yin Chen, Joule heating routes for nanomaterial synthesis and surface modification for nanoscale applications, mentored by Professor James Tour. Dr. Jihua Cheng, symmetry reduction in the self-assembly of anisotropic nanoparticles, mentored by Professor Matthew R. Jones. Dr. Vanessa Espinosa, photochemical tailoring of single-wall carbon nanotubes by photoexcited sodium hypochlorite, mentored by Professor Bruce Wiseman. Dr. Keishin Ling, synthesis, modifications, and applications of porous nanostructures, mentored by Professor Angel Martí. Oops. Sorry, a bunch of pages have turned while I was away. Dr. Yenshu Lu, radical transformations enabled by earth-abundant element metals, mentored by Professor Julian West, hooded by Professor Jeffrey Hartgerink. Dr. Jordan Metz, discerning the role of superoxide and chlorine radicals in perfluorooctanoic acid degradation by advanced oxidation processes, mentored by Professor Pedro Alvarez, hooded by Professor Rafael Verduzco. Dr. Anastasia Misiura, 2D and 3D single molecule microscopy to enhance protein chromatography, mentored by Professor Christy Landis. Dr. Caroline Peterson, development of bioactive collagen mimetic peptides using supramolecular and covalent techniques, mentored by Professor Jeffrey Hartgerink. Dr. Long Qian, unconventional magnetic order and rare earth intermetallics, RT3 silicon 7, mentored by Professor Emilia Morasan. Dr. Emily Searles, resonance energy transfer and charge density tuning at plasmonic interfaces, mentored by Professor Christy Landis. Dr. David Solti, catalyzing the future of nanomaterials synthesis, mentored by Professor Naomi Hallis. From the Department of Earth, Environmental, and Planetary Sciences, Asmita Banerjee, evaluating changes in high-altitude temperature and atmospheric circulation during the last deglaciation using clumped isotopic composition of oxygen in polar ice cores, mentored by Professor Lawrence Young. Dr. Celine Fliedner, microstructural and environmental controls on the elastic wave properties of phyllosilicate-rich rocks, mentored by Professor Melody French. Dr. Sriparna Saha, metasomatic processes in the continental lithospheric mantle and their role in the physical and chemical properties beneath continents, mentored by Professor Rajdeep Dasgupta. From the Department of Ecology and Evolutionary Biology, Dr. Lauren Howe Kerr, Symbioses under Stress, Dynamics of Microbial Symbiont Communities in the Anthropocene, mentored by Professor Adrian Correa. From the Department of Mathematics, Tamanonye Cheatham West, finite quotients of hyperbolic three-manifold groups, mentored by Professor Alan Reed, hooded by Professor Shelley Harvey and Professor Ryan Spittler. Dr. Ethan Gwaltney, Stahl-Tokic regularity and exotic spectra of Dirac operators, mentored by Milivoje Lukic. Dr. Connor Sell, cusps and commensurability classes of hyperbolic four-manifolds, mentored by Professor Alan Reed, hooded by Professor Shelley Harvey. Dr. Chunyi Wang, direct and inverse spectral theory for the Hamiltonian system with measure coefficients, hooded by Dr. David Damanik. Dr. Kenneth Zhang, Brouwer groups of a family of non-negative Kodaira dimension elliptic surfaces, mentored by Professor Anthony Verli Alvarado, hooded by Professor Shelley Harvey. From the Department of Physics and Astronomy, Shah Saad Alam, quantum spinor gases, universal relations, strong interactions, and machine learning investigations, mentored by Professor Han Pu. Dr. Daniel Eduardo Cavazos, spin charge separation in a 1D Fermi gas with tunable interactions, mentored by Professor Randall G. Hewlett. Dr. Lebing Chen, spin excitations in honeycomb van der Waals magnetic insulators, mentored by Professor Pengcheng Dai. Dr. Kaike Filipos dos Anjos, stochastic modeling of protein target search in different DNA topologies, mentored by Professor Anatoly Kolomeisky. Dr. Sarah Freed, measurement of Higgs boson production cross-section in association with a W boson in the Higgs decay channel and with a final state of two same-size leptons missing transverse energy and jets, mentored by Professor Carl Eklund. Dr. Kun Hu, polarized radiative transfer in the magnetospheres and atmospheres of neutron stars, mentored by Professor Matthew Baring. Dr. Eduardo Ibarra Garcia Padilla, quantum simulation of the Hubbard model, higher symmetry fermions and new architectures, mentored by Professor Caden Hazard. Hooded by Professor Doug Nadelson. Dr. Shuyi Li, magnetic phases and topological excitations in frustrated magnetic systems on honeycomb lattices, mentored by Professor Andriy Nemedovsky. Dr. Jason Ling, characterization of radio emission from young stellar objects, mentored by Professor Andrea Isella. Dr. Chia Chuan Liu, quantum criticality of strongly correlated systems, mentored by Chimiao Si and hooded by Professor Matthew Foster. Dr. Andrew Marshall, MMS observations of secondary reconnection X lines and the unexpected phenomena surrounding them, mentored by Professor Patricia Reif. Dr. Anastasia Newhart, the role of magnetospheric convection in the formation of ionospheric structuring and irregularities, mentored by Professor Frank Tofoletto. Dr. Matthew Simeral, the interpretation of Raman spectra using time-dependent functional theory for atomic resolution structure of cell biomembrane models, mentored by Professor Jason Hafner, hooded by Professor Qinghua Qiang. Dr. Asa Stahl, characterizing young stellar systems and their suitability for radio velocity-driven exoplanet detection, mentored by Professor Christopher Johns Krull. Dr. Xinghai Zhang, quantum mechanics, localization, and fractal-mediated superconductivity and magnetism, mentored by Professor Matthew Foster. From the Jones School of Business, Dr. Yoon Jung Kwon, Dilemmas and Triads, the strategic use of corporate venture capital investments, mentored by Professor Yan Zhang. Sayed? Sayed Dr. Sayed Mohammed Kazimpour, Essays in Asset Pricing, mentored by Professor Carrie Back. Dr. Xiao Liu, Accounting Standards, Capital Regulation and Credit Supply, a Reduced Form and Structural Analysis, mentored by Professor Shiva Sivarakmash Krishnan. Dr. Billy Yushang Xu, Essays on Household Finance and Banking, mentored by Professor Alexander Butler. Dr. Chengji Lawrence Zhao, Essays on Corporate and Household Finance, mentored by Professor Gustavo Gruon. Dr. Yiying Zhu, Essays on Innovation, Product Failures, and Technology Competition, mentored by Professor Haiyang Li. And our interdisciplinary program, starting with Applied Physics. Dr. Roger Ding, Spectroscopy of Strontium-87 Rydberg Atoms and Molecules, mentored by Professor Barry Dunning, hooded by Professor Barry Dunning and Dean Tom Killian. Dr. Arvind Chenrayan Govindaraju, the vestibular hair cell calyx model, insights into ion channels, experimental data, and haptic transmission into the vestibular epithelium, mentored by Professor Robert Raphael. Dr. Waidu Liu, developing compressive sensing in electron microscopy and gas phase spectroscopy, mentored by Professor Kevin Kelly. Dr. Jaime Moya, quantum criticality and complex spin textures and the extremes of magnetism, from the itinerant moment to local moment limits, mentored by Professor Emilia Morrison. Dr. Yage Zhao, fast topology optimization based on GPU-accelerated discrete dipole approximation and its applications in nanophotonics, mentored by Professor Peter Nordlander. From System Synthetic and Physical Biology, Dr. Carlos Bueno Bascuro, mesoscale models for the study of emergent behaviors arising from protein interactions, mentored by Professor Peter Wolonis. And Dr. Lauren Gamble, development of ribozyme-derived RNA tools for engineering microbes and microbial consortia, mentored by Professor James Chappell. It is now my privilege to introduce the Howard R. Hughes Provost of Rice University, Amy Dittmar.
Good afternoon. As H.E. said, I'm Amy Dittmar, the Howard Hughes Provost at Rice University and a professor of economics and finance. And I want to start off by saying congratulations, doctors. Let me offer my sincere congratulations to today's graduates. You have worked long and hard to have those 3 little letters after your name. And I know how challenging that journey is. It seems like it was just a couple years ago, but over 25 years ago, my husband and I were enrolled in a PhD program at the same time. In our 4th year, we had our first child, Abby. And as I saw some of the children that came across, the child that came across the stage and some running around in the back, I was reminded how it was not easy. We were done with classes, but focusing on our research. And Abby just kind of became the mascot of the PhD program and went everywhere that our group went. She would sit with us on our computer, baby in your lap, running computer analysis. We took turns, who would be working and watching her at different times. Fortunately, children love technology. So, what is more exciting than watching a computer program run? There's lights on the computer, the code is streaming down the screen, and she seemed quite entertained. It was hard, but it was incredibly worth it. In my life, I have found that it is almost always worth it to do the hard things. I hope after devoting years of your lives to a concentrated study of a particular field, focusing on specific questions, you will say the same. Of course, you did not succeed alone. You had the support of your enthusiastic faculty who were here today to send you off, dedicated staff, and the collaborative peers that surround you. And many of you also have spouses and partners and children and extended family who have been tremendously supportive and sacrificed to enable you to complete your degree. Many things in life take a village, and successfully completing all that is required to get a doctorate or a PhD is certainly one of them. The president has already asked you to stand and thank them, so we won't do that again, but I would like to take just one more moment to thank that village that surrounds all of you. Earning a doctorate or a PhD is a high calling. You were charged with creating new knowledge and even new ways of knowing things. You did this profound work during an incredibly difficult time. It required resilience, determination, and courage, as President DeRoche talked about earlier. It also required sacrifice, perhaps more than you expected when you embarked on this journey. I want you to take a moment and think about why you decided to pursue a doctoral degree in the first place many years ago when you first made this decision. What did you want to accomplish? Where did you want it to take you? If you are like me and so many, the inspiration and ideas that brought you into this have evolved, pivoted, and quite honestly been turned upside down. That process of making and remaking and again remaking yourself is a journey you will take over and over. Because when you follow your curiosity and let your passion for knowledge be your guiding light, you will take many paths and find much greatness. Trust yourself, question everything, and be open. Because your PhD from Rice will open many doors. As you consider new opportunities, continue to ask yourself, what is your why? I encourage you to only accept the opportunities that align with your values, push you to create a better world, and to find joy in what you do. It is that joy that brought me to my own PhD, kept pushing me through the degree, tenure, through the tough times when everything didn't really turn out exactly as I wanted. For me, the joy came from the discovery, from gaining and sharing an understanding that no one had found before I had found it. When I was sitting about where you are today, actually probably just a couple months before this, I was well through the final chapter of my dissertation when my advisor walked in with a paper. That's never a good sign. It was by a top scholar that was pretty much the same thing I had been working on that last paper. His paper was complete, out for review, and let's be honest, he was a senior faculty at Harvard and I was a PhD student. So my advisor gave me two options: wrap up the final paper regardless and graduate in a few months, or scrap the paper and delay for a year. It wasn't an easy decision, as I'm sure you can imagine. I had a job lined up and was planning to be done, move on, new interests, new topics, new life. But the idea of working on a paper and a project just to complete it, not to discover anything, it weighed on me. Yes, I wanted to be done, but I also wanted to work on something that brought me joy, where I could discover. And so I followed the joy. I decided I would rather work longer on something that I was passionate about than waste what I felt like were a few months on something that seemed perfunctory. It was the right decision, not just because it led to a publication, which it did, but because the process to get there, the discovery, the answers to the questions asked, it brought me joy. So my message to you, follow the joy. And then today, take a deep breath and feel the pride and joy that we have in all of you. Celebrate this tremendous milestone and reflect on all that you have accomplished in these last few years. Congratulations, job well done.
Thank you, Provost Dittmar. Dear scholars, each of you has completed a substantial body of independent creative research, and you have earned the doctoral degree. On behalf of the Rice University faculty, we welcome you as a peer into the community of doctoral scholars. We commend you for the talent, the commitment, the passion, and the resilience that you have shown. We deeply appreciate the contributions that each of you has made to strengthening and enriching the fabric of the Rice community. We are grateful to have had the opportunity to work with you, and we hope to have the opportunity to do so again in the future, whether collaborating in research or perhaps through your future mentorship of another Rice Owl. I ask our guests to remain seated while the platform party recesses from the hall, following by the doctoral degree recipients led by the marshals. You're welcome to take photographs with your graduates across the street near the beautiful James Turrell Sky Space, and there will be light refreshments available for you to enjoy at Alice Pratt Brown Hall. Thank you.
you.